Hi, I'm Terry, and this is part of my Become a Licensed Locksmith series. Now, I've been very lucky. My father, my grandfather, my uncle, they were all locksmiths. So I'm a third generation locksmith. I grew up in the business. I was a little kid. I'm working in the key store, cutting keys, rekeying locks. So I was very lucky. I grew up doing it. Now, the interesting thing was my parents did not want me to become a locksmith. They wanted me to go on to college, university, do whatever, and they didn't want me to become a locksmith. I loved locksmithing. From a very young age, I had my own set of picks. I was making picks out of bobby pins, hacksaw blades, anything I could get my hands on. Had a whole pile of locks. Actually, if you look there, that's when I was a little kid. I made that when I was probably 11 or 12, and that was my practice pick board. So again, very lucky. I had the advantage of growing up in a locksmithing family. However, when I finally didn't want to go to college or university, I had a lot of family pressure and everything. I moved a couple thousand miles away and opened up my own locksmith company. I love the work, I like doing it, and I had a lot of fun. Also, I've made every single mistake. I've had the wrong products, the wrong advertising. I've done everything wrong. I've learned by my mistakes. I was slowly built up what I considered my method of doing locksmithing, and also not doing the not profitable jobs. If you can't make money in this business, what's the use of being in business? So slowly I figured out what's the most profitable, what's the best stock to have, what's the best products to sell, and which crap products are out there to avoid and don't go anywhere near. So I've been doing this a long time. I actually sold out my company when I was about 30 years old. I sold a company, and I did. I went to college and then to university, and for several years I worked at going to school. I treated it like a job. Family was quite happy. Here I am, got all these degrees. I could paper the wall, and I kept on drifting back towards locksmithing. Finally, there's a downturn in the economy. I'm not a very good employee. I don't work well with especially government agencies. So I went back into locksmithing again, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And then slowly but surely, I built up. I started doing a lot of training, other government agencies. I was training their people how to open things, covert entry, basic locksmithing, and to advanced locksmithing. And I was training a lot of people. And I was doing a lot of traveling. It was a lot of fun. And then I got back into locksmithing. I got my sons involved, trained them up. And I started putting together a whole method of how to train and how we did business and how to get our service trucks and our vehicles and everything. So where does this all lead to? I've been expanding into bringing other people in and helping them set up their businesses. If you want to become a licensed locksmith, I have not only the methods on how to do the locksmithing and the training and everything, but more importantly, how to make money in the business. This is not a hobby. This is a real business. And if you look at it, most locksmiths, now these numbers are not pulled out of the air. These numbers are from government agencies. They put together what the average trades make and everything. The average locksmith is only grossing $25,000 per year. That's absolutely disgusting. $25,000 per year is not a business. That's just a hobby. So as you can see, now 20% of the locksmiths out there are making over $100,000 per year. That's grossing over $100,000 per year. And about 10% are grossing over $1 million per year. So what separates the hobbyist? Some of these guys have very good locksmithing skills, but they don't know how to make money. I know how to make money. I've been doing this a long time. I've brought in they were bookbinders, immigration consultants, construction laborers, office people, brought them in, trained them, showed them how to do the locksmithing and how to run their business. I've done locksmithing in small towns and large cities. The small towns actually work out better in the long run, but it's extremely difficult to get started. In the big cities, you're kind of lucky. You got so much churn going on in your city that there's a lot of work to be done in most major cities as a locksmith. The small towns, it's harder to start up, but I tell you, you get a more loyal customer base from what I found. In the smaller towns, well, sometimes you're the only guy in town. But the small towns are actually, and the small areas are actually a lot of fun, and it's a good place to raise a family. And when I left the large city locksmithing and I went to the small town and I raised my family there to start, but I got drawn back to the cities. I like the cities. Now I'm looking again, I'm thinking, where can I go for quality of life? The city is a bit of a rat race. I'm looking at the smaller towns right now. So if you want to become a licensed locksmith, email me, visit my website, and we'll have a discussion on how you can become a licensed locksmith. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Subscribe to my channel. Also, visit my website and you can see what online locksmith training I have for beginners, intermediate, and advanced, as well as my covert methods of entry and my non-destructive methods of entry.